back with another one. So we all know UFC 219 happened on Saturday. The co-main event we had Khabib Nurmagomedov. Shit, I ain't even gonna try to pronounce his name. Just call him Khabib right now. He went against his Edson Barbosa. This Barbosa guy looked like an elite level striker. You know, the guy looked like a straight killer, in my opinion. Okay, this might be the casual MMA fan coming out of me, but the guy looked like a straight killer to me. And I mean, he just completely dominated this guy. I mean, as soon as the fight started, it seemed like he was immediately on the ground. He got him down on the ground, and he isn't one of these guys who's gonna take you on the ground and lay on you and try to do different technical movements. This guy's taking you to the ground and beating the shit out of you. Elbows, punches, whatever. He's just gonna maul you once he gets you down there. And I just think this is a really bad matchup for Conor McGregor. And I think his weakness is the ground game. And you got Tony Ferguson over there. This guy's a complete all-around fighter. He's not as dominant as Khabib is on the ground, but he's a complete fighter. He can fight standing up, and he's good on the ground. So he just got through beating this guy Kevin Lee, who was a top prospect who they was trying to hype up. So I mean, at this point, where can Conor McGregor go? And we see him lashing out on Twitter, basically just saying that you're gonna have to you got to pay me a shit ton, like a retirement fund type money, to get me back out there. He's saying, truly, get on your fucking knees and beg me. Otherwise, I don't give a bullocks. My whiskey is out this year, and that's Diddy bread. So basically, he's saying that, I got options, man. I don't have to come back to MMA. Y'all gonna have to pay me that bread. So he gonna got a taste of this, 8-9 figure kind of money, and he feeling himself. And the UFC gonna have to pay this dude. Then he went on to say, I don't know what he said, that Dagestani, I don't know what he means by that, was dog shit the other night. You're all nuts. Gang full of sloppy bums asking to be slept. Pay me my worth, and the king's back. So, they gonna have to come with that money for Conor McGregor to come back, man. They let him go over to boxing, and I mean, they made good money. I feel like, they needed some big revenue to come through with the people who had just bought the UFC. They was trying to get their return back, but at the end of the day, for the long run, I don't know if it was really good for the company, because I mean, what big draw do you have? Conor has the ball in his court. He's the biggest draw in MMA, and maybe you could say boxing too. And I mean, like, what can they do? They won't strip him. They won't make him defend his title. I mean, what can he do, man? And the Khabib guy, he responded and said, "Shut up, tap machine." So he's alluding to when he tapped with Nate Diaz, and I think this guy could beat him, and I think Tony Ferguson has a good shot at beating him too. So I think his only option is fight Nate Diaz in a boxing match, or maybe he could fight Paulie in a boxing match. I mean, either way, he's gonna have to take a risk, because in order for him to make the kind of money he wants to make in boxing, he's gonna have to fight a named guy, and the named guys are gonna have some talent. So if they're half good, they got a good shot at beating McGregor. And then over there in the MMA, you got them straight sharks waiting in the water, because I mean, with MMA, it's not really no light touches when you're fighting these number one contender after number one contender if you're the champion. And I mean, they haven't forced McGregor to defend anything. The guy held the featherweight title for like a whole year, and then they didn't strip him until he got the lightweight title, to say he was the only guy to hold two belts at the same time. But that's a conversation for another video. But what do y'all think, man? What can Conor McGregor do? We seen what this guy Khabib, this Russian guy, what he can do as far as just neutralizing the fucking striker. What can McGregor do to keep this guy from taking him to the ground and just beating the shit out of him? And I think he knows that. I think he knows that his next few fights are probably going to be the last fights for him. I believe if he took some 2 L's, he could come back, but I mean, does he really think it's worth it? He could come back to the MMA and maybe they pay him 10, 15 million a fight. But this guy done tasted, 8-9 figure paydays in one fight. And he made what guys haven't made in their entire career with the UFC. So, it is what it is. It's kind of like the saying, I believe Marvin Hagler said it, it's hard to get out the bed and train when you're a millionaire. I want to say it was him that said that. And I mean, it's hard for him to come back to MMA when, he can make crazy amount of money and take less damage. But that is what it is, man. Give me y'all thoughts. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.